What's up, y'all? So, as some of you may or may not know, one of my goals was to reach peak aesthetics by August of this year. And you may also know from having watched my videos in the past that I do what's called an in-body test at the beginning of every month. So an in-body test, basically you just step on the thing and it reads your body fat percentage, your weight, and your muscle mass in pounds. And, well, let's just say the results weren't too grand. No, not at all. They were infuriating. As I say many times, as I say over and over and over and over and over again, failure is part of the process, and we learn from failures. But that doesn't negate the fact that it pisses us off. Yet again, let's not dwell on the negative feelings. Let's take this in stride. Take it on the chin. So last month I did this. The results were pretty good. I had lost 1% body fat approximately, and I had actually maintained my muscle mass. So what changed from last month to this month? Well, a lot of things. So I talked a long time ago about burnout. So basically, burnout is just working to a point of exhaustion where you are forced to take a break. I did that in February from a, not so much a working out perspective, just so much a general life doing too much and not resting enough state. Well, this month, I burn out physically. Basically, I was lifting too much. I guess I was going too hard. And, well, I think my central nervous system burnt. So what does that mean? Your central nervous system is just just imagine it as like a network that allows your brain to communicate with the rest of your body. It sends signals back and forth and basically tells your brain communicates with your muscles and says either you can keep going, we're tired, or that's it. We physically can't push anymore. When you hit that point, your brain, your central nervous system effectively turns off your muscles. So you physically aren't able to lift as much as you would have been or you should be. So how can you tell? Normally I can lift 415 pounds on our leg press machine. And one day, I was barely able to lift 200 pounds on the leg press. That to me was an indicator of, oh shit, this is messed up. This is not good. This is a bad sign. So we took a break that day. We came back the next day, tried to lift again, and a similar thing happened. I tried benching with dumbbell bench press and was barely able to lift 30 pounds. With the assistance of my boss, Bill, we talked about it and we had come to the conclusion that I needed to take a break. So basically all I did for the first week of April was just walk on the treadmill for 30 minutes for an entire week. And it was pretty rough because I wanted to be lifting. So I took the week off, but what happened after that? Well, turns out when you get used to not pushing yourself and you get used to not lifting heavy weights, well, you kind of lose your momentum. A body in motion stays in motion and a body at rest stays in rest. So when it came time to getting back into weightlifting, it took a while for me to get back into it. So I know roughly how much weight I can lift per set and how many reps and all that jazz. So when I got back into weightlifting, I wasn't particularly inspired or energized. I was feeling pretty lazy. I allowed this feeling, this emotion of laziness and unmotivatedness to affect my workouts. And that was a decision on my part because we have agency, we have control over whether or not we allow our emotions to affect our conscious reality. And instead of like getting over this psychological barrier, I just allowed it to affect my conscious reality. And so my workouts kind of were suffered for it. And by that I mean I wasn't progressing, I wasn't progressively overloading, I wasn't lifting more weight, I wasn't lifting more reps. I was staying at the same weights, reps, sets, everything. And in some lifts, I even decided just to take it easy. And so what happens? Well, if you're not pushing yourself, if you're not riding on the edge of chaos and order, as Jordan Peterson would say, if you are not on the edge of comfort and discomfort, you're not going to expand your boundaries. You're not going to make any sort of headway. You're going to make zero progress. So what happened? I made zero progress. In fact, I went backwards. I was working like a pussy. And that's just the honest truth. And it's better to just face the honest truth and learn from it and prevent it from happening again. Right? That's the whole point. Taking personal responsibility, right? It's money in mouth productions. So this is it. This is what the process looks like. You're going to have setbacks and it's going to suck and it's going to piss you off. However, I'm somewhat glad that I went through it. Yeah, I'm glad that this happened because seeing those results reignited the fire under my ass and got me to get up and say, no, we're once again, we're just going to grab this thing by the balls and actually do our best and really push ourselves. And all my workouts since then have been what we call heinous, absolutely sinister, evil, and that's how it should be. I think I talked about this in a previous video, but Jordan Peterson talks about this idea of pushing yourself to 100% and then scaling it back for sustainability. That is what I did this week. I pushed myself to the absolute limit for like 3 days. And then I was able to scale that back to something I was able to do more sustainably. So yeah, learning lessons, don't work like a wuss. Sometimes you're not going to want to do the work. Sometimes you're not going to feel motivated and inspired. And that's the point of discipline, is doing the thing you know you need to do, despite not feeling like it. Doing it while no one's looking and expecting. That's the end of this one. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.